Hi there, I'm Phobos. Today I wanted to show you how to study proportions and give you some extra tips while I draw in real time. We always start by a square, since it's important to locate our drawing in space and allow us to keep at the desired size. After that, using abstraction, I draw the more simple shape that the figure cuts. Then, I trace where the middle of the torso is and I draw the shoulders and hips inclination. Then, it's important to draw the directions of the limbs. You can also draw the silhouette by using inclinations to draw the mass of the body. As for the reference packs I use, I'm using artstudio images. They are great in terms of pose and lighting. Linked in the description you will find the packs I'm using and a promo code for a 15% discount. As usual, I'm not aiming for a perfect drawing here, but to be able to draw the general proportions as accurately as possible. Try not to be so hard on yourself regarding that. Mistakes are a step forward, always, and then we learn from them. Keeping that in mind while studying, you will be able to feel motivated by the errors in your drawing, since you will know where to put your focus on the next practice. That's why I like to show you my mistakes. There is beauty in them, and it's important to incorporate them in our drawings. This pose has some nice foreshortenings, but while drawing proportions, it's easy to draw them because we use abstraction to understand the figure. As you can see, I'm quite slow at drawing. I like to take my time and enjoy the process. Results come easier that way. In this one, the limbs could be a bit confusing, but using comparative measures and plot lines, the exact position should be easier to find. I'm making sure the smaller directions and negative space is correct now. I don't worry much about making a perfect line or erasing the mistakes, unless the lines are bothering me. Remember, this is not a finished drawing. It's only an exercise to practice our proportions, so it's easy to relax and draw without that extra pressure. Now I'm sketching in some basic hands and face. Didn't want to spend much more time on this one, but you should always spend more time on hands and face compared to the other parts. Not only because of the small size of them, but also because our eyes go there first. When drawing the figure, I always try to fill the most important mazes of the body. This pose I like a lot because it have a nice tension to it. The most simple shape it cuts is nice and simple. Also the inclination of the body and the middle in relation with the legs in this unusual pose, I think is an awesome pose and reference, so I really enjoy drawing it. Drawing where the limbs overlaps with the body is also very important. Now, even if we don't see the full back, we know where everything else is, so I can draw it nonetheless. That's all because I have the middle of the body. Now I noticed the body was a bit thick, so I processed to make it thinner, by double checking the inclinations, as always. Since so many lines were bothering me, I used my awesome zigzag eraser for small parts, making more defined lines now. This pose seems difficult, but it was easy. For this one, I'm not gonna make the face, just a simple proportion indication. Also, I feel like I learned everything I needed from this study, and I'm happy with it. Next one. This pose seems harder than it looks. Here I started by more dynamic middle of the torso line, to make sure I capture the movement of the pose. Since the pose is a sitting one, I didn't want it for the result to be too stiff, so I didn't use only proportions, so I'm introducing gesture into it too. Then I draw the general direction of the torso and limbs, as usual. I make sure to follow the inclinations as close as possible while double checking by negative space. The best piece of advice I can give you is that try to make an habit out of drawing, even if it's only a few minutes every day. With time, each minute counts. Slow and steady is always better. For this one, I'm not gonna go into detail with hands and face either, since I'm only practicing proportions. As I always say, us artists have to practice a little bit of everything to be able to draw. So now I'm only showing you an example of how to study proportions. But be sure to study also gesture, structure, and anatomy. They are all fundamental in your skill set as an artist. Next video is gonna be about gesture, so be sure to check it out. Hope you have enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Goodbye!